very first Let's Play of Penumbra Overture. Now, as I mentioned, this is my first Let's Play, and this is not going to be a blind Let's Play. I know some people might be disappointed with that. I can understand that as well, because the blind ones tend to be the funnier ones, where people don't know what to expect. But I will be running through this game, and I will then be playing the sequel after that, which will be a blind Let's Play, and I'm sure you people will enjoy that as well. Now, Penumbra, I'm sure many people already know that it's made by Frictional Games, who are also made the Amnesia series, which I may or may not do a Let's Play of as well, though that would not be blind either, because I've already played that as well. But I think we should get this started now. Here we go. And time for the opening cutscene, which I will not talk during.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Okay, here we go. Now, the reason why I didn't talk during those, I want you guys to get the story of this as well. The story in video games is very important, at least in games like this to me, so I want you guys to experience that as well, if you haven't played this or watched a Let's Play of it before. So, here we go. Now, let's grab the equipment. Probably will read most of the notes here. This one's kind of mundane, really. You can pause it if you wish to read it. But okay, grab that. And the first time I took this, it took me forever to figure out how to open this, and then I realized I had the freaking key in my inventory already. Batteries for a flashlight, and the glow stick, which really is more useful than the flashlight is, to be honest. Alright, now let's get out. Okay. Out in the winter, out in the cold. You know, it's Canadian. I feel oddly at home in this kind of weather. like this all the time. Thank God for Steam, or else I'd have to go outside and trek through the snow every time I want to go buy a video game or something like that. As I said, this is not blind, so I already know I had to grab that rock and smash this open. Down the dark abyss. And creepy whispers, lovely. Seems to be a staple of horror games these days now, isn't it? Heavy looking wooden barrel. Could be anything inside it. Why don't we open it and find out? But unfortunately we can't. Flashlight. Okay. We got a hammer. And a flare. Always good. Now I will equip this. The first time I played this as well, I did not realize you could hotkey items, so... Whoops, that was embarrassing. Always had to go into inventory if I wanted to take something out. Let's see. I don't think I missed anything, so let's keep going. Oh, what's he say? A middle shelf. You don't say. Oh, what's this behind the middle shelf? It's a series of caves. Yeah, that's always creepy. You're not getting out. Haha. Industrial mechanism, although there's a hole in the center and no way to operate it. So I have to find something to open that with. There should be a rod around here somewhere. Although I can't seem to remember. Oh, on the ground. Pfft. I am oblivious. There we go. And open. Whoops. Oh, shit. I hope I didn't just screw myself. Okay, good. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches located in a remote Arctic wilderness and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. Never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets, emergency services at the end of a phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers, all there if something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all the most mundane emotions. Once again, I felt like I didn't when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me, friends, partners, teachers, were too scared or too far away. Alright. I'll take the flashlight out. Yeah, I'm gonna put that away for now. I'll go this way. Yeah, this is where I want. I will say now, the first time I went through this game, I went through it completely without fighting enemies. I completely ran, so this time I want to see if I can get some revenge on some of those damn monsters. Anyway, Another unremarkable week in Greenland. Regular supply shipment received, standard emergency drills carried out, routine runway maintenance completed. I've ordered maintenance be carried out twice weekly from here on in due to increased snowfall. 1 wounded. The 1 wounded figure is no cause for concern back in London. The Germans haven't extended their front line by 4,000 miles. 2 of my men were caught manufacturing cherry bombs in our workshop/armory and succeeded in blowing off a couple of fingers. I take partial responsibility for this in that I allowed them to access the demolitions manual we keep in the storeroom, and I'm sure that's where they learnt the ingredients. As a precautionary measure, I have now locked up that manual in the chest in my office and will keep the key on my person at all times. Needless to say, both men have been disciplined, and that injured man has been sent home for medical care. I cannot help but think that a more suitable punishment would have been for him to stay out here, but the matter is out of my hands. This base is disconnected sometimes. I feel as if this war could end, and we might not even hear about it here. Supplies requisition order. Dynamite for excavation purposes. 7 bayonets, not necessary in my opinion, but procedure states we should have a full complement. 1 industrial X-pick for removing the dam ice that forms on the external hatch. 1 pair of reading glasses, category 7C. Reconditioning of mine continues to progress. The structure is being fortified for potential bomb damage, and excavation of previously caved-in areas is going ahead. 1 point of curiosity is some kind of archaeological find, artifact buried in the earth and discovered by one of my work teams. Later this evening after martial duty, I shall take a closer look at the artifact. It appears to be man-made and may have working parts inside. I shall remove what looks like the front cover and see if I can't discover the source of the light which constantly emanates from it. Chief NCO M. Major. Alright, grab that. Touch this. Man, an old man, clutching something unseen. He is strange, and yet he is no stranger. Never seen before. Still I know this man before me is Howard. I call him Father. At first I thought they were just recollections of somebody else, but I realized later that those were his, your character's, thoughts when you touch those. On second thought, after reading that one out, it might be a bit long to, read them all out, but, you can pause them if you want, the video if you want to read all the documents. As this is my first time, or not my first time, so I will not be doing that. Or I don't need to do that. And the Big Book of Explosives, 1923. This has been here for a long time. Rest of the room. Let's see if there's anything interesting. So far, nothing. Oh, beef jerky. That's gonna be handy. Painkillers. Oh. Gone through so many, I thought there wouldn't be anything in there. And I don't believe there's anything in here. Yeah. Well, okay. I think that's going to be the end of part 1, so see you all in the next part.